Welcome, I'm Rabbi Phil Bressler of Beit Am in Corvallis, Oregon, and this is the daily summary video for the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Yomi Daily Halacha Learning Project, covering the passage from Siman 102, Seif 2, to Siman 103, Seif 2. You can find links to the Hebrew and English text of this passage and the calendar of upcoming passages in this video's description. We're going to continue talking today about Eruv Tavshilin, that's preparing for Shabbat, when Shabbat is immediately preceded by some number of days of Yom Tov. And as we noted yesterday, what you do is take two foods. One is cooked, usually a hard-boiled egg. The other baked, usually matzah, or potentially a loaf of bread. And these should be portions of significant size, more than, a significant amount, more than a just tiny fragment. The bread can go on the table for Shabbat meals as what's called lechem mishneh. That's literally double bread, recalling the double portion of man. That's the manna that the Israelites received in the wilderness that was delivered on Fridays. And you should eat it all the way at Seudah Shlishit. That's the third meal traditionally eaten while it's still Shabbat on Saturday afternoon. Now, Seif 3 is a bit confusing, and the translation, I think, adds to the confusion. But what I think it's saying is that your Eruv Tavshilin, which you made, say, on Wednesday afternoon before Thursday, Friday, Yom Tov, it's only effective in permitting you to cook for Shabbat all the way on Friday night and Saturday if you do that cooking kind of early on Friday. So remember, if you started cooking for Shabbat on Wednesday afternoon, that's the beginning. When you lay aside your eruv, that's the start of your Shabbat cooking. But if you don't actually mix it, if you don't actually continue it until late in the day on Friday, when the sun is starting to go down and it's really almost Shabbat, then you haven't really mixed the pre-Yom Tov cooking with your Yom Tov cooking at all. Despite, though, the seeming concern for continuity in cooking from before Yom Tov through Yom Tov and for Shabbat, cooking for Shabbat can only be done on Friday. You can't do any of your Shabbat preparation on Thursday. Though apparently if you do goof up and do it anyway, it's still actually permitted to eat that food on Shabbat. The Kitzur covers a number of workarounds if you forgot and you didn't make your Eruv Tavshilin. Possibilities include cooking anyway, but only a bare minimum amount, cooking a bunch for Yom Tov and leaving up leftovers for Shabbat, having someone else who made an Eruv acquire your ingredients and then do the cooking for you. Everyone is at least theoretically responsible for making their own Eruv, that is, each household. Sometimes the rabbi of a city will have the practice of making an Eruv for everyone in the whole area, but I read some implicit acknowledgement here in the Kitzur that that's actually pretty flimsy and no one should really rely on it. It's also possible you can make your Eruv Tavshilin on Thursday if you forgot on Wednesday afternoon. After all, in theory, the reason we have the 2 days of Yom Tov is it's dubious which of the 2 days of Yom Tov is the quote-unquote real Yom Tov day. So what you could do is make your Eruv on Thursday and stipulate when you are reciting the formula, if the real day is Thursday, then Friday is whole, and whatever cooking you're going to do on that day is no problems, and your Eruv is essentially null. If the real day is Friday, then Thursday is whole, and you're making a proper Eruv. This doesn't work, though, for Rosh Hashanah, because remember, Rosh Hashanah is also considered, for some purposes, Yoma Arichta, one long day. In the next Seif 103, we move into the halachot of rejoicing on Yom Tov. Yamim Tovim are holy days that deserve to be honored and delighted in, just like Shabbat. So you should get cleaned up. You should bake challah, except on Pesach, obviously. Don't spoil the festive meal with late snacks. We'll cover more tomorrow on how to go about delighting in your holidays, but that's all for today. As always, our learning is dedicated to Rabbi Shlomo Gansfried, the author of the Kitzur, and the historic Jewish community of Uzhhorod, Ukraine. See you tomorrow.